Hi, I'm Josh, and this is my album review for Suicide Silence Become the Hunter. Wow, my word, this album is absolutely brilliant. I first heard them not that long ago, though, to be fair. About sort of June, July time, I watched Metal Injection's live stream that they done, and they played a couple of songs. They done a really good Alice in Chains Man in the Box cover, which was really good. And they played a couple of other songs, and I quite liked them. And I thought, they've got a new album out. I'll pick it up and see what it sounds like. And it was absolutely brilliant. I was absolutely blown away by it. There is absolutely not a lot wrong with this album. It's brilliant. Um, Eddie Herman, his vocals were absolutely awesome on this. His sort of range, he can go really deep like Corpse Grinder, and then he can scream at the top of his voice. It's yeah, great. And the guitars were really good. The guitars were great. Mark's leads, some of his guitar solos were really badass. And some of them riffs, well, all of them riffs are absolutely wicked. Some the cool bass, Dan, is it Dan? Dan on bass, pretty good. And the drums, Alex, don't know his last name, wicked, absolutely awesome drums. The blast beats and everything, it's just wicked. Alright, my top three tracks. This was really difficult to find a top three because there's loads and loads of really awesome songs on here. It was really difficult to make a three, but I've got a three. And Love Me to Death, In Hiding, and Disaster Valley are my three. Let's start with Disaster Valley. My favourite song on the record. It's real sort of death metal vibe. Real sort of classic death metal kind of sound and some badass riffs, and he does a absolutely blooming brilliant solo. Yeah, the drums, the vocals, everything was perfect for that song, and the breakdown at the end, where it's just the bass doing the riff, and then it comes in with the guitars doing the riff. It's just, oh man, absolutely awesome. Love Me to Death, that was a really good song. Some real heavy riffs and the vocals again on point. Really awesome solo as well in that song. It's just a real heavy song. Yep. In Hiding next. That is just a wicked song. That's probably my second favourite. Some of the riffs in that song, just really cool. For the guitar solo, it kind of goes a bit death metal-y. And then at the end, that end riff with the blast beats. Oh, oh my word. Absolutely awesome, absolutely brilliant. Let's get into the rest of the album. It begins with a short instrumental, Meltdown, which sounds like an absolute meltdown. It heavy. It just sets the tone for the rest of the album. And yeah, not really much to say on that. It's just a really cool intro, and then it goes straight into Two Steps, and that is a brilliant track. That was really close to getting in the top three. Love the breakdown, sort of towards the end of the song, and the solo is pretty cool. And again, the vocals. I'm going to be talking about the vocals a lot because the vocals are absolutely mad on this album. And then the next song, Feel Alive, that was really good. Some really good riffs in there. In the middle of the song, it just does that wicked breakdown. It's so cool. Yep. Death's Anxiety, that was a really good song. Real kind of almost like a groove metal riff at the start of the song. Yeah, cool. Skin Tight is the only song that I'm a little bit sort of with, because the vocals for me, they don't fit for that song. The verses, because it's quite a slow paced, you know, the rest of the album's just all hell for leather, but that song's sort of a little bit more slowed down. Almost, it's not really a ballad, but it's probably the closest thing you could get to a ballad with Suicide Silence. And the vocals just don't fit. I don't think it could have been easy. It could have been better if he had have either spoke the vocals or sung the vocals a little bit. But no, I like the bit in the middle and the end of the song where it goes a bit heavier, and that kind of fits. But yeah, that's my least favourite song on the album. The next song, The Scythe, that's the first song I actually heard off this album. On the Metal Injection live stream, they played that one, and it kind of got me into listening to this album and liking this band now. So yeah, that's a really cool song. That's a real kind of classic death metal-y kind of sounding song, and the solo in the middle is a really, really cool one. It kind of ebbs and flows. It's heavy, and then it kind of goes a bit sort of almost a little progressive with the solo, and then it kind of goes back heavy at the end. Really cool. Next song, Serene Obscence. Yeah, Serene Obscence. Whoops. I really like that song as well. It's kind of got a Middle Eastern acoustic-y kind of start. It sounds really kind of, yeah, Middle Eastern-y, sort of Asian-y kind of sound to it. And then it just goes into the song. Some real heavy riffs again. And then it kind of takes the opening sort of Middle Eastern riff and it kind of turns it into a death metal sounding riff, which I really liked. Yeah. And then the last song, Become the Hunter. Pretty good end to the album. It's pretty ferocious. It's just, you know, yeah. He does a cool little solo in the middle of the song, and the breakdown at the end. It kind of looks like that the song's about to finish, and then it doesn't. It just keeps on going. But yeah, good end to the album. Yeah, really solid. So, ranking wise, it gets a 9.5 out of 10 for me. It is almost perfection. If Skin Tight was done a little bit different, it would be a 10 out of 10. Flawless album for me. It's just that one song really kind of lets it down. It's the one I skip almost all the time. I listen to it not that much, not as much as the others. So, yeah. Well done, Suicide Silence. Right, so that has been this album review. I'd like to know what you think of this album and what your favourite Suicide Silence album is. And the next sort of video after this one will be my top albums of this year. There's a lot to get through. There's lots of albums that could be on this list. So I hope to see you then. Until then, keep it metal.